One of the things that I'm known for is my custom tile work. If you thought I was going to build a cabin in the woods and not do something cool with the tile work, you're fooling yourselves. I'm going to take a minute and break down my prep and waterproofing process for you guys, because the prep is just as important as the finish. For the waterproofing system, I used one of my favorites, which is the Wetty foam board. I install the foam board first and do the sealing of the joints, and then I install my pan. My other favorite for the pan is a dry pack cement. So I do the dry pack cement first, and then I come over the top of that and apply the Wetty subliner dry. The last step I have for the pan is applying the pre-made corners and the banding, which I'll show you guys here in a second. My preference for shower pans is always applying the waterproofing on top. Traditional systems have the waterproofing installed before the concrete, and the concrete then sits on the waterproof membrane and gets saturated with water. The issue with that is that it builds up moisture and mildew and really never has a lot of time to dry. So when you do this shower pan this way, the concrete underneath never gets wet, the water really has nowhere to go, and it dries a lot faster, which eliminates mildew and mold. Once the shower pan membrane has been installed, I'm going to install my prefab corners. First, I'm going to apply a 3/16 by 3/16 notch of modified thin set. Then I'm going to stick the corner in place and trowel it flat, pushing out all the excess thin set. Once your prefab corners are in, you're going to repeat that same process and apply the banding. First, scratch in the thin set, then notch it, and then apply the banding. You're going to want to work out all the excess thin set with a margin trowel or 6-inch putty knife. Once the banding is flat and the thin set has been worked out, you want to wipe the edges down with a sponge to clean them of any excess thin set. To finish my waterproofing system, I'm going to use this Wetty urethane-based sealant to seal up any penetrations in the walls, as well as on top of all the banding and in the shower pan. As you can see, I've used this sealant when I installed the board. I'm going to go ahead and run a bead of sealant around my mixing valve and also around these collars for the water stub outs. I prefer to use these Hansgrohe eye boxes because you can waterproof them directly in. So I applied a nice bead of Wetty sealant around that, which creates a waterproof seal. On the water supply line, I had an extra Schluter valve seal, so I went ahead and used that and applied my Wetty sealant to adhere that and waterproof that in. That completes this stage of the waterproofing process. I really enjoy using these modern systems. They're a lot easier to install, and they give you a really great warranty if you stick within the product manufacturer's specs. Join me next time, we'll be getting into some of the finish work.